where is everybody located? Is everybody in Santa Cruz, or where is everybody?
I think everybody's in Santa Cruz.
Okay.
Unless people are sheltering in places that I'm not aware of.
An undisclosed location.
Second homes, I don't know.
All right.
It was cool to be from Santa Cruz like a day ago when you could go to the beach and use like the parks, and now it's not so cool. We could all be in like the desert somewhere because we can't go use the beach anymore. So.
Yes, Amy is in Rome. I see that, and I have a Rome background too, but mine wasn't working. So mine I think was the Vatican, but yeah, no, it's not working. So.
And we have Monterey County as well, so we've got people down in Carmel and Pacific Grove.
Okay, got it. Perfect. My old stomping grounds. I love it.
All right, very good.
Look at Brandy's background. Stop. Oh my God.
Nice.
Perfect. Well, it's right at 11, so we can go ahead and get started. I want to thank you guys all for joining us, and happy Friday right before Easter weekend. I think the Easter Bunny will be the only visitor to my house for the foreseeable future that I can think of. So Jim Black from All Cal Financial was happy enough to put together the content for today's call, which is, of course, meant to provide you guys with some additional resources while we are all sheltering in place at home. And a little bit about Jim. I've known Jim personally. It's fun. We have kids of similar ages. But he and his family moved to Aptos 4 years ago from Lafayette, which is up, I think everyone knows where that is, up by kind of Walnut Creek, Berkeley, Orinda area. And he has been a home loan lender for the past 15 years. During this time, he has helped over 6,000 families with home ownership by funding over $1 billion worth in home loans. And he has ranked in the top 1% all mortgage originators for the past 15 years of his career. He's also been involved with WCR. He's currently on their leadership team, and I've had the pleasure of working with him through the Santa Cruz County Association of Realtors. He's been on several committees, and he started his own brokerage company last year, All Cal Financial, and they are currently offering both residential and home loan solutions. So Jim, I will turn it over to you, and you can introduce our two awesome guest speakers for today.
Thanks, Morgan. I appreciate it. And again, thank you guys all for your time today. Time has become a interesting thing, right? I don't know if it's Friday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I guess it's daylight because I see sun. But we all are in a different mindset now with work, life, balance, family, health, stress, all the things that are coming at us from all angles. And in our industries that we're involved with, real estate and finance, those are two, as we know, emotional and sensitive industries that are part of some of the biggest decisions in life people make. So I think during these time frames, it's really important for us all to lead together, support each other, know that we all have each other's back, and just continue to share and be adding value and adding constructive things in our lives, because there's so many negative things we can focus in on. We're choosing to focus on the positive. So thank you again for being here. I want to also make sure we understand how Zoom works for everybody, just in case. I'm going to mute everybody, but I'll unmute the speakers. And if you guys have questions, please answer them, put them in the chat. I'll do my best to relevantly put the questions as they come up to the right speakers. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce both of our speakers. Excuse me. We're going to do video 101 first, and then we're going to do a perfect day to finish the call. So let's start with Andrew Devlin. Andrew Devlin and I have known each other now for about 4 years. I got to help him actually buy a house, ironically, in Aptos and finance that. And we've become dear friends. Andrew and his wife Tamara have 3 boys that are all, I would call them all Irish twins. So I guess they're Irish triplets. They are all in the same kind of age group. Yeah, 3 years apart, but they're a great family here in Aptos. Andrew has a 20-year extensive background in all things video, from video technologies to platforms to software, and to also now video engagement. And about 2.5 years ago, I was with Andrew in my backyard, and Andrew had a creative idea to start a company. around video. So Andrew, about, I think it's 2.5, 3 years almost now, was thinking that video and the platform around video is the way people will commence business in the future for certain segments of our economic communities. So Andrew has started a company. He's a co-founder of Pitchhub, and Pitchhub is a company that offers video platform technology and a bunch of other great services that are actually being used throughout the Bay Area right now with other real estate companies and firms that has gotten a lot of traction in the last few months, and obviously is going to probably be something important for the future. So Andrew comes to us from a video technology background, and I'll let him start in about 1 minute. And Katey Dallosto is a dear friend of mine I've known for, I think, probably, I don't know, 14 years, maybe. That's not right. Katey is one of the most influential people in real estate that I know, besides Morgan, here locally. Katey has led teams as big as 1,000 people. She's spoken at Todd Duncan events. She's been a follower of Brian Buffini. She is a executive coach. She's a leadership coach. She has her own consulting firm called Capice. I don't know if I said that right. Capice Consulting. Is that right? Capice?
Capiche, you got to do it with the hands.
Capiche,
So
Capiche,
Gina's got. I knew Gina would have it. So yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Right.
I'm Irish, so I don't. Yeah, I just do I don't know. I don't get the Guinness cheer. So, so Katey's background is I think a perfect fit for us today on a Friday, especially Good Friday, to really get our mindset around some of the things we can do at home, and what are the things that will keep us essential to our clients, our referral sources, to our family, to our friends, and to ourselves during these times, because there's not any type of rule book here or playbook that we can go back to and say, great, we've been through this before, because we haven't been through this before. And again, we want to just provide relevant tools to you guys to let you know that we're here to support you. We got your back. And again, these are very good times, if you look at the silver lining, to really reinvent your business or add components to the business that you didn't have before. And again, getting all your CE credit done is a great thing also, right? Or other things like that, just things that you can do right now. But I do believe the video element and making sure that you're understanding some of the different perspectives you can have being essential from home, I think are really key. So without further ado, I'd like to, again, when questions come up, please put them in the window. And we're gonna have Andrew talk for about 15 minutes about video. And then we'll swing over to Katey, and we'll finish with maybe some mortgage updates if we have time. So Andrew, thank you again for being a leader in the space, video. You and I have talked probably, I don't know, an hour each day for the last 3 or 4 months regarding what you're seeing happen, how we can implement video, how effective we can be. I would love for you just to kind of share your perspective about why video is relevant and what you're seeing as some of the best practices that people can do to create a personal touch, a unique approach, a genuine relationship with people over a computer or over a cell phone, which is different, right? 4 weeks ago, we could hug somebody or give them a high five or shake hands. Mm-hmm. It's a different marketplace. So please, without further ado, it's all you, my friend.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Jim. So, hey guys, one thing that Jim didn't mention in our discussions 3 years ago was, I was going to, I'm an electronic engineer by trade, and that's where I have my degree. What I didn't realize was that when you're going to do, put together a video platform and a company and software and everything, is that I myself would have to do videos too. So one thing I really overlooked was that I would have to get in front of camera. I would have to do and produce a lot of video content, which that was really difficult for me. And so as I, move forward in this company, I've been through the fact that doing videos is very hard. And so I'm going to give you a quick overview of kind of video 101, and I'm going to share some of the concerns that I've seen after doing hundreds and thousands of videos now, not hundreds of thousands, but thousands of videos for folks and myself. What are the top 3 concerns? And then we're going to kind of go into maybe some of the technology and answer some of the questions that you have on how you develop and how you create content, if that's okay. So I'll share my screen real quick here. So what I would say is, if you look at video today, and what I'm seeing are the main concerns from folks when they do video is that, you know, personally, people ask all the time, I'm going to do all these videos and so much time, it's so time consuming and so hard to do. How much of an impact is it going to be on my business? That's obviously, you know, if you're going to put the time and effort into it, what are the concerns? The concerns are they going to be impactful to my business? So I can actually show you a real quick example of a video we put up yesterday and show you the results we got today. But the other thing is that I can't help with, but it's on your mind, is I don't like the way I look. I want to look younger. I want to, you know, do this. I want to do that. And then of course the sound of my voice. These things I can't take care of, but I will tell you that everybody's concerned. They don't like the way they look. They don't like the way they sound, but it is the way you look and it is the way you sound. People like you in general. So therefore they're going to like you on video just the same. And they want to get to know you, and they will look at your profile. They will look at your videos. They will get to know you first before they pick up the call. That is really it. I mean, if you're very salesy on your videos, on your bio videos, talking about, you know, the market and all the things that you do on your bio videos, things that are about you, they're looking forward to connect with you as a person. So don't worry about the way you look so much, but definitely do work on that a little bit. But for the most part, people like you the way you are. So I think just being genuine, and Jim mentioned that, just being genuine, putting videos together that, you know, kind of enlighten your personality are big. The other things that are one-on-one aspects of doing video are audio is number one over anything else. Audio, if they can't hear you, they can't understand what you're saying, there's no point in doing the video. So audio is always the first thing you want to look at when you're doing videos from Video 101. Lighting is also key. And then video quality is also good. Zoom is great for this type of communication, but recording sessions and stuff like that are, if you can do a higher quality video, it's a much better experience. So video quality is also good. So if you're going to start doing professional videos, your logos and graphics are very important, especially for a professional video. And then captions are something that people, I mean, it's like 85–90% of people do not put captions on their videos, and they're so important. Even today, while we're shelter in place, you will watch, you'll notice you'll be watching videos all the time, and maybe on a call and you can't mute, but you see a piece of content and you want to know what it's about. If they don't have captions on it, you can't understand what the video is about. So therefore you'll say, I'll get back to that later, but if you don't have captions, I can show you this in a second, you're losing 80% of your audience, if not more. And then other concerns that people have with social videos are, where do I post my content? How do I post my content? And where do I post my videos? And then of course the other thing is, how much is it going to cost me? So there's different, obviously, platforms and technologies and things out there that you can use, but price is also even more so now a concern for most folks.
So Andrew, could I ask a question real quick?
Yes, please. Yes.
So you talked about video quality, right?
Yeah.
Would you say using your iPhone is, if you don't have no other way of doing it, is okay? Is that, would you record a video and just text it or email it to somebody? Is that the basic fundamental way that you would say would be okay?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I use, well, I have a professional camera that I use, but I do a lot of videos that it might be 2 cameras, and I will use my professional camera, and I have an iPhone too. And you can just change the quality and make sure that the recording quality is 1080p. So you go in, you can check the recording quality. You want to at least do 1080/30. And
so 4K is too extreme probably, because it would take
overkill. It's overkill because it's going out onto the internet and it's getting re-encoded before it gets out there, and they're bringing it down at least to that encode. There's no necessary benefit to going to 4K.
That's good to know, because I think about that all the time when I do videos. I'm like, what level do I need? So thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And so literally I have a lot of real estate is probably my biggest market. And I'm obviously very busy right now helping folks get online, get on video. And so I wanted to show an example of a video, that types of videos you could do maybe for a listing. And this wasn't necessarily this video that the agent here was concerned about. Wasn't necessarily, yes, it was to get her listing out there. It definitely was to get visibility to it. But she also was worried about the fact that the person that she was representing wanted to know that she was still doing something and that she was still trying to be proactive with the listing. So this is a video that we shot for this agent. And basically, you know, I helped her with this, and I said, you know, we're in the house, can we shoot your video? And if you look at this, just basics of how to shoot a video, if you wanted to just do something a little bit more professional, this is in a guest room, this is behind her, you see that light coming in. We used a natural light from a window. She didn't really have any lights. She was worried about audio, which I was also helping her with. And it's okay that she has an earbud in her ear. I mean, nobody's going to fault anybody nowadays for makeshifting anything they can in order to get a good video out. Well, this is a wonderful microphone. So an earbud, and if you've got hair, you can put your hair over it and make sure that nobody sees it, but it's still an okay thing to do. And so just, you know, if you wanted to know that what we were doing behind the scenes with this is that I just edited this for you just to show you, but literally, when you can look this up if you want to see her talking, but literally she just had a 20-second intro of what she was, you know, how she was sheltering in place and something about the property. And all she did really was she was on video for the first piece. So with any type of editing platform, with any type of editors, you don't have to do the whole, like, this thing was 2.5 minutes on camera. You can do very creative things where she just introed the property and then she outroed the property. And meaning that the rest of the inside, if you look at these videos from really what happened, she's just reading the script when you see the graphics come up. So she does not have to be on camera the whole time. So just some tips and tricks of videos that you can do. And then other things I want to show you was captions. So captions are very important. And then what I mean by that is just, especially when you put them out on social media, and LinkedIn is everybody's friend right now, because I think that in the areas that we live, LinkedIn is a business platform. And so when you get your listings on this, most of the people that we represent or sell to are on LinkedIn. So it's a great platform, but what it definitely you need to do is have captions, graphics, and things like that are people.
Andrew, can I ask a question? So with the shelter in place stuff right now, there are certain elements to real estate that do not allow vendors to come do anything because they're not protected under the essential designation. Have you seen anyone take videos yet, or have their clients do videos of their own properties and have them kind of put together a video that way yet? Have you seen that at all?
I haven't seen that. I've seen vacant properties though. I have seen agents do videos outside of property, introducing the property themselves and doing an intro and outro that way. But I haven't seen them doing anything else in that regard. No.
Okay, just thinking that might be something for the future. If this stay in place and essential business thing shifts, that would not be a bad conversation to think about having with your client, that your seller. Also, from the appraisal perspective, we're seeing appraisals now can use FaceTime with the client to walk around and see the inside of the house versus go in the house. So very interesting uses of videos as they're shifting with our essential and non-essential business elements. Right.
And then there's, I heard Buffini and I know him obviously because I'm originally from Ireland, but not that I know him because it's a small country or anything, but I also was watching a video on Tom Ferry, and Tom Ferry is saying the same thing, like video, you have to get out there, you have to get on video and either tell the weather or do something, but remain relevant to your center of influence. And this is something also that you could think about if you wanted to use video in a different way. Was we have a good friend, Jim and I, Christina, and she is a local financial planner, economist, and she's actually putting together videos from our webcast that we're helping with. And basically there's snippets of video that you could introduce, like, hey, don't take it from me. Here's a local economist talking about what's the state of the real estate market. So she does a webcast that you can look at, and any pieces of content that you find relevant that you want to share with your center of influence or people out there in the network. You can either come to me and get some of the clips, or you can just, basically ask myself or Jim for the actual the webcast link and share that with your community too. So it's also good to put together content about what's going on in the market and not necessarily have to say it yourself and let somebody else say it, for you guys. So just are there some things right now that are potentially useful for you with video and how you can use it to, for the folks that you're working with. The other thing that Jim always likes me to show is he calls video stacking, or stacking, but this is a video menu. So this is something that too, if you're going to do a series of videos, we can stack them up there for you. And so you can go to relevant points in time within that video and have, or even like a bio, you could have your bio here. You could have how I can help you sell your home, buy your home. Things like that are also relevant things that you can do if you're looking to do more video and have people come to your website, come to your come to your profile to understand who you are and how you sell and how you can help them. So that was the other thing that I wanted to show you. And Jim wanted me to show this too, which is it's a market update. So similar to the first video that we showed, this was, this could be an easy way for you to do a market update where you intro the property. This is on a green screen here. So you're introing the property here. You talk about you're introing the market that you're going to give an update on. And basically it's an intro, and then you put graphics over it. And really what's happening in the background here, you just have Mary here behind a green screen, just doing her video, and Tobin's left the building. He's off getting coffee somewhere. And so then just intro and outro, just things, different tricks that you can do if you've got a green screen and you want to start doing different types of updates that are relevant, but also using an editing service, or you want to do it yourself. But just that's also relevant. Things that are technical that you can use today out there in the market that we provide, but that also you can get online, or teleprompters, lighting, obviously distributing files through Dropbox and Google Drive. You guys are very familiar with those applications, but they're very easy to use now, and they're great for higher quality video to distribute those. And then there's other things that if you wanted to start doing more videos, there's also optional things that you can access for people through Zoom, or executive speech coaching. And then I won't even go through that. But so social media, just real quick, as far as like where to post your content, I wanted to definitely touch on this. It's very important for your videos. The top social media platforms, just in case anybody didn't wanted to ask this question, Facebook and Instagram are obviously the top two platforms, but you have to pay in order to get any organic reach outside of those platforms. LinkedIn is what Facebook used to be like in 2011. So LinkedIn will give you an amazing organic reach. And I want to show you something. I'll show you that this was posted yesterday. This guy posted this video yesterday on LinkedIn. Now with the right hashtags and the right tagging, he's got in 24 hours of 1,350 posts on LinkedIn. So this is organic reach. He didn't pay any money whatsoever in order to do this. So the organic reach is amazing on LinkedIn if you do the posting and hashtagging and tagging correctly. So LinkedIn is, I think that's my favorite platform, especially from a business perspective, and especially for the folks that we work with. Best way for engagement for you guys is definitely LinkedIn, number one. Number two, and is still Facebook and Instagram if you pay, but also the number one way to engage with your center of influence is email and newsletter. And I can verify this and show you guys the metrics on it, but it'll give you about 30% engagement if you do an effective newsletter too. So video, but definitely put a video in there too. So, sorry, didn't update that.
Andrew, can I ask a question? Can you
Sure.
show us the teleprompter? Because I think a lot of us are new to video and we're uncomfortable giving facts or details, especially around a property or data points around mortgages. Can you share with us just an example of what you mean by teleprompter? Because I think this is one of the coolest things that's happening in this space right now, which allows people to know that you can write a script, you can do a couple different things that are pretty fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, this is a script that we helped with Move Boxes, and she submitted this video recently for a competition in Monterey Bay, and it's Move Boxes, but it's also known as Pretty Boxes, and it's pretty cool because she just got the letter saying that she got moved to the next round here. So we helped her with this presentation, but it's a web-based, so that means like a lot of teleprompter apps are apps, so you have to download an app onto your computer, you have to download an app onto your phone in order to do teleprompters. But what we found, and what I found the best way for me personally when working with hundreds of agents is and folks is having a web-based teleprompter is the best. So we built this, and so you put in your script, exit out. You put in your script and then you go to studio mode. The cool thing about this is that it's a team approach. So if somebody developed a script, you could share it with your team. And then if you get the script, you can obviously pull it up under your profile and edit it and then make it available for you. So when you get to present and you want to record on video, you can use this, and then basically it's voice activated. So it just has to look at the noise that's around in your area, but then also just listening to your voice. So you can stand in front of a teleprompter, do dramatic pauses, get through your script based on what you're saying, and it'll follow along with you. Some folks like just that auto scroll; they like to just bang through their presentation. But this is the teleprompter that we built, but it's very specific in that, like the device that you see behind me here has got this thing here has got the teleprompter, and also it has a camera right underneath it. So you can sneak a camera, a professional camera, or your iPhone underneath. So if you're going to use this as a crutch or use it fully for your presentation, it does look like you're looking at the camera more than you are your teleprompter. So,
Andrew, can I talk to you about this too? So people might be confused. Do I have to have a teleprompter separate from my video recording computer, or am I actually just looking at the screen and my little camera above that is actually videoing me? Is it all in one solution?
Yes. So we can record. We're recording your camera, or you're recording your camera video, and then then you upload this video to us. We have access to your scripts, so we know what you're saying. And so if you mess up, we can go back and edit in just exactly what you're trying to say. So we correlate your script to your video, and so we've got better insight, and we can be working with you in order to grab that relevant piece of video. So I'll get a video that maybe be like 10 minutes long sometimes, and it's really just a 45-second video of that person practicing and nailing that actual piece of the script. But we know exactly what they want, and we'll just edit that out of the video. So we make it super easy for everyone because it's
And how long
a
do videos
difficult process.
take place? Sorry, how long do videos take to get basically uploaded and distributed? Because maybe the content I have today is relevant today, but maybe tomorrow it's not. So how quickly can these things be implemented? Like how long is that process?
It's typically 24 hours. So we'll turn around videos in 24 hours. We'll then give you a preview. We use Vimeo. We'll put it up on Vimeo. We don't suggest that you use the Vimeo link on your social media. Number one rule is always download that file that you're getting from Dropbox or Box or however the file is distributed, and then upload that into your social media. But don't take the link. The link is really just a preview. If you like the edit, then you can accept it and publish it and use it.
Got it. Cool. Anyone have any questions for Andrew about?
Yeah, there was a question here from Gina.
There we go.
And we have clients that do testimonials this way. Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of testimonials that folks do. And testimonials are fun because you can have a teleprompter, and what you can do is basically obviously prep the person. If you want to use a teleprompter for a testimonial, you'll prep the person on what you're going to ask them and the points that you want them to hit on. And they're watching the teleprompter as you're asking the question. They can be looking at the question that you're going to be asking and then what their answer is. So it's really nice just kind of to have that reference point there, and it makes for a much better video.
Cool. Awesome. Well, we'll make sure that we look for any questions at the end for you, Andrew. Again, this is a fantastic way of staying relevant, adding genuine videos. They don't have to be perfect either. We all want to show, genuine parts of who we are. It's okay to stumble on a word or stutter. It doesn't, we're not perfect.
Human. Yeah.
So is that kind of what you're seeing? And you're seeing other agents in other areas of the state using this platform. And can you share just a quick thing about Keith Walker and how he uses this? Because Keith has a large team that he works with. That would be great.
He writes a script. Keith has got 15 agents in Cupertino, and he writes a script every weekend. And every Monday, we'll have our meeting, and we'll go through that script and understand kind of the graphics and how everything is going to be set up. And then he shares it with his team, and then they do pre-runs on it. And then they had typically been going into the studio every Tuesday and just everybody banging out that script. But now we do it separately, and we still do that. It's just not as frequent. But he then shares that script within the teleprompter, so everybody is part of a team within our platform, and they can pull up their own scripts, edit them at the way that they would say some of the things that Keith is explaining in there. But it at least gives most people want content. They want to get ideas on different types of content. So if you give them an overview of different cool content that they can talk about that's relevant, I've seen them just make their words their own, and then they present those on video.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Appreciate it very much. Again, Andrew, we'd love to have you share some of your stuff later. We'll put Andrew's email in the box at the end, and if people want his content, awesome, great. Thank you again, Andrew, for your time. We appreciate it. So,
thank you, guys. Thanks for listening.
Awesome. Okay.
Jim, you went muted.
Jim, you're muted. You muted yourself, Jim. There we go.
There we go. So excited to have Katey here now on the call. Katey is an influential leader, like I've talked about. I love the fact that she puts it out there raw, and there's no filter. It's just real stuff. And I think that we all appreciate that in real estate, especially that it's just the real stuff coming at you. Katey and I met, I think, when you were managing Better Homes and Garden, I forget.
Maybe even Keller Williams, yeah, back in the day.
Keller Williams,
Mm-hmm.
and where you managed, I think, over 1,000 people. Katey's also been on the mortgage side. She has written a fantastic book called Fortune Cookie Leadership. I highly recommend that. I have a couple extra copies also.
Andrew has his.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, we have copies of it. It's fantastic. I think even Morgan was at an event with Katey also at that same event, and heard some of her insights. So Katey, we're going to pass it over to you again, talking about the perfect day for our mindset. And I'm taking notes myself because I can definitely use some help. So
All
thank you
right.
again.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you for being on today. And thank you, Jim, for inviting me to be on this, and Morgan for all of your help on getting all this set up. So appreciate it. So I've been a realtor for 15 years. I've spent some of that time working for a mortgage company where I helped manage in-house relationships. I've been a national trainer for about 10 years. So I spoke at NAR last year. I've spoken at events all over the country. I think I've trained about 30,000 loan officers and real estate agents in so far the last 10 years about that. I need to start maybe paying a little bit more attention to exactly how many people I'm speaking to on a regular basis. So love speaking at, I saw some WCR. I've spoken at several women's council events and just love the opportunity to share. This book, Fortune Cookie Leadership, is actually written in memory of my mom. My mom passed 22 years ago, and she was a teacher of teachers at St. Mary's College in Moraga. And she was sort of the queen of the one-liners. I don't know if anybody has a family member who is the king or queen of the one-liners. It might be you, I don't know. But my mom had a lot of little one-liners. So we wrote the book with a lot of my mom's one-liners. I managed real estate offices, was a regional manager on the West Coast, and realized that I do a lot of not only coaching with one-liners, but my children say that I parent with one-liners. So my oldest daughter is the one who called me a fortune cookie. So that's where the name for the book came from, is Fortune Cookie Leadership. Each chapter is a one-liner with a story of where it originated, and then the life lesson or sales lesson for your business or your life. I think the greatest compliment I get is when people tell me that they read this book with their kids. So I know as a lot of you do have kids at home, the longest chapter is 2.5 pages long. So you're welcome. You're gonna have a great sense of accomplishment. That I read 2 chapters of a book today, and it'll be like 5 pages. But it's also fun to read with kids. Again, a lot of these quotes are from my mom, who was a teacher, and hopefully I'll maybe develop some additional conversations, and my mom's wisdom can help. One of the things that I do a lot of speaking around is around sort of mindset as things happen to us. One of the chapters of my book is life doesn't happen to you. Life just happens, right? There are things that happen that we don't have any control over, right? Like right now is a perfect example. And this didn't happen to you, right? This just happened. And how do we respond? How do we move through things? And so it's managing our way through this. I found myself, and I said, Jim says I call him like I see him. So there's pros and cons. I'm half Irish, half Italian, which means I like a loud fight. It also means that I'm Catholic, I drink, I'm super direct. So, all of those things that go along with that. So I found myself on like the second or third day of the shelter in place, stay at home order, that I was in my pajamas till 11:30. So I'm like, this is not this. I'm with you, David. Let's go have a drink. And my ADD kicks in at any moment. So just fair warning.
We'll get you back on track.
Yeah, get me back on track. I found myself being in my pajamas till 11:30 in the morning. And I'm like, okay, how many reruns of Law and Order can any one person watch in a day? I was going to make the record. And I was like, this is ridiculous. And so I decided that I knew for me that I needed a schedule, that I always do better when I have a sense of accomplishment for my day or for my week. And so I did put this together, and I'm going to share it. I think, Jim, I sent it to you so you can share it with everybody after we're finished. I have it to share on my screen, but
Okay,
I know
cool.
Jim can send it out to everybody. But one of the things I just want to talk about a little bit with this is there's a lot of information out there right now. I know that Andrew talked about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a great opportunity to go and find some webinars about thought leaders and inspirational people. And there's such a great opportunity right now. I do a lot of coaching on leadership development, on teamwork, and doing virtual team events and things like that. But I think one of the things that I'm hearing a lot of people talk about is, what is my rallying cry for this time in my life. You guys are all, as realtors, you're CEOs of your company. So if you're the CEO of your company and we're in the middle of not just a marathon, but we're in the middle of an Ironman, right? Getting through this. And what is your rallying cry for this time? What do you want to make sure you accomplish? Is it deepening those relationships? Is it becoming more educated? Is it, I want to have additional designations that I haven't done before? I want to have at the end of this, my rallying cry is all about having the cleanest, best database ever, because I want to be just so efficient when we come to the other side of this. So having that rallying cry doesn't mean you're going to be perfect every day, but it reminds you of what your focus can be. And it's something you can share. Like my rallying cry is to get really, really deep with my database, with my sphere of influence, with my past clients, with my partners. That's what I really want to spend this time getting into, is getting deep into relationship. Maybe it's, at the end of this, man, I want to go on a trip, or I want to really, I want to host a party. So maybe you're going to spend this time on a personal level of you're planning for this incredible backyard party that you're going to have. And so you're going to try out new recipes and have this whole plan of what it's going to look like when you have this party. Or maybe you're going to do a party for your past clients, or I don't know. But the idea is that create these rallying cries for yourself. As a Catholic, I am spending some time learning how to do quiet prayer. I'm a talker and a doer. This quiet prayer thing, my priest is a personal friend, and he's telling me, go sit and spend 10 minutes in quiet prayer. It's very difficult for me, but I'm working on it. And so it's a personal thing for me to develop. But at the end of this, a skill I want to develop, the kind of person I want to be, and working on those things. I'm also a big fan of social media distancing. Right? Not just social distancing, social media distancing, right? We can leverage social media for learning and getting better and sharing ideas and feeling connected. I'm an extrovert off the charts. Social media for me is my way of feeling that I can connect with other humans. And so that helps me, but I have to really limit my time, because sometimes I go down the rabbit hole, and I know for myself, I have to limit that time so that I can spend time working on those goals, or that rallying cry that I have for this time. So I built this sort of perfect day for me, and I thought other people might enjoy it as well. But it doesn't need to be your schedule forever. It's just an idea that you can play with. So I'm going to show you on the screen what it looks like. All right. Can you guys all see that? There we go. Everybody see that okay? Yep. Nodding. Jim, give me a thumbs up. Okay, good. Yep. All right. So this is, I like to start my day early. And I think it's important to get up and get your head space in the right space. I pray, some people meditate, exercise. I gave a couple options. These are a couple plugs for friends of mine. One of my dear friends runs an online workout company called Energy Up. You can, there are 30-minute little videos. There's yoga on there. There's low impact. There's high impact. There's everything on there. And Jonathan has spoken at several events for realtors and lenders, and he's awesome. It's really a low cost option, but it's nice. You can watch live workouts as well as recorded. And then my stepdaughter works for Peloton. So if you would like to get VIP experience, reach out to Samantha. I know a lot of people have used her and are saying, you know what, I've seen all those Peloton commercials. I think I would continue to use it after this is over. That looks really cool. Reach out to Samantha. She can give you that information. But spending a little time in the morning when it's quiet, getting your headspace right. Some people are saying, I'm taking that time to write my gratitude journals, whatever that time may be, but getting your head going. And I think exercise is important. I know people that are just like, you know what, I'm going for a walk. It's cool in the morning. It's nice out. I can, really have an opportunity to really appreciate my surroundings and be outside. The other piece after that is get dressed, take a shower, get dressed, have a healthy breakfast. I used to live in Aptos. I used to work in I had a little apartment. It was a 2-bedroom apartment. I worked from home, and I used to get dressed to go into the next room and shut the door, because I knew that if I was trying to do my work at the kitchen counter, I would easily get distracted, and that it was important for me to feel that I was in a work space. So physically in a workspace, putting on my work uniform, as it were, eating a healthy breakfast, getting the food that brings you energy, and enjoy it. I was just reading a book about the Italian lifestyle, is that when you eat something, enjoy it. Take a minute to enjoy what you're eating. Let it feed you, not only physically, but feed you mentally as well. And then maybe this is that time to watch a motivational video, listen to a podcast, get your head space in a good, positive way, and do whatever that thing is to feed you. A lot of what we're all doing in the real estate industry right now is we are pouring into people. We are calling and touching base with people that are scared and a little freaked out. Guys, you do that anyway, right? I mean, I know part of being a realtor is being a part therapist. So making sure that you feed your own soul, fill your own emotional buckets, that you have that to be able to give. Those of you that are homeschooling your children, bless you. I'm just amazed, and that's amazing that you guys are doing that and doing those things. But it's important to feed yourself as well, so that you have something to give. I'm a fan of prioritizing email time. I believe that email can be the devil. We can get into email. You can spend all day doing email very easily. So if you finite the time that you spend on email, you become really efficient. Kind of that day before vacation syndrome, right? I only got 30 minutes to do my email. How efficiently can I get this done? And prioritize what needs to be responded to immediately and what can wait, or what can be scheduled onto your calendar for tasks to be done later in the day. Then spend some time calling current clients, people that you have actively been in conversation, maybe people that were thinking about selling, thinking about buying, now they're kind of freaked out, and just be honest with them. Update them on what's happening if people are currently in transactions, and just touch base. What's really interesting about this time, and I think Jim talked about it with the video, is be yourself, be exceedingly human. I had a friend of mine yesterday call me and he said, I'm having a rough day. And I said, welcome to the club. A lot of people are having a rough day. And so the idea is hopefully not everybody's having a rough day all at the same time, but just check in and be exceedingly human. Yeah, this is getting a little frustrated. Yeah, this is really disorienting, or I'm just learning how to handle all of this. There is something in the air right now for everyone. So just check in as humans. Nobody is going to look back 3 months from now and say, gosh, my realtor, what a pain. They kept checking in on me and seeing how I was doing. Everybody's going to love that. They're going to love that you cared about them as human beings. And then give the update on what's happening. And this is it's something I've seen a lot, is people will say, hey, you know what? I'm going to make a list of all the questions that I am getting from current clients, and that becomes your content. Andrew's nodding. So you can see that a lot. Make a list of what questions you're getting over and over again, and that can be a 90-second video. Hey, I'm getting a lot of questions from clients about blah, blah, blah. And you can put that in as your caption. Have a question about fill in the blank. And so those kinds of videos can be very powerful, but keep track of the questions that people are asking you. And even the how can you help? I think it's interesting about not only how you can help, but I had somebody tell me that what they are doing now, I have a coach friend of mine that says, they're calling and saying, these are things that I can do to help you. Right. I know a couple of teenagers that would happily go run and get your groceries for you. Somebody can go walk your dog. So I have, somebody that wants to play music for your kids on video. Right. So you guys have this vast database of people that can help. So offering how you can help, not just asking, can I help you, but giving suggestions of things that you're doing to help and to help each other. Maybe it's how I can help you. We're going to do a virtual happy hour and hang out and have a contest for who wears the craziest hat. It doesn't matter, but just have some connection. Then, follow up and connect. Some people are writing handwritten notes. Some people are sending the email follow up. Hey, great chatting with you, updating your database, all that kind of spend that time there. And then I say, go for a walk, take a break. A lot of people miss walking from one end of the office to the other, just getting up and moving, walking, from your car to your appointments, walking around somebody's house. We're just not moving as much. So take that time to move, stretch, walk, dance, get a healthy snack, right? We're all hunching our shoulders over. Do a little yoga, do a 15-minute yoga session. Just the idea is that get yourself away from your computer and moving a little bit. And then the next group of people to call is past clients, sphere of influence. Do basically the same thing. Check in personally, update on current trends, be exceedingly human. This is the time when humans connect. We connect more as human beings in moments of tragedy than any other time. So as people are experiencing discomfort, anger, frustration, fear, and all of its flavors of that, this is a great time to connect. Yeah, I'm feeling some of that too. It's okay. Let's talk about it. Let's share some suggestions, something you saw online, something a friend is doing. There are lots of different ways to connect right now, and it's a great opportunity. Again, do your follow-up time, have a healthy lunch, have your next time part of your day is catching up on your email. And in the afternoon, I really kind of broke up into different times. One is after you eat, it's good to move your body a little bit. And then the idea here in the afternoon is to spend time on personal and professional projects, or do your appointments. If you're going to do a virtual buyer consultation or a listing consultation, have those as book times in your calendar that you do. Hey, I do all my buyer consultations at 1:30 or at 1:30 or 2:30, what works better for you. So doing those kinds of things that we can do, but they may just be, hey, I'm going to work on my video. I had to order a new light because my light here is not great. So I ordered a new light, and I'm really working on setting up my space to be a really professional place for doing video and lots of other things. Maybe it's, I need to get better at some technology tools. I need to really redo my Q2. Q2 is looking a little different than it did 6 months ago. So maybe I need to redo my entire strategy for what I'm going to be working in, my focus and my rallying cry for the second quarter of the year. Maybe you're going to write a book. I will tell you, I wrote this book with 45 minutes to an hour every day. It wasn't like I sat down and wrote the book in one shot. I dedicated 45 minutes to an hour, 5 days a week, where I sat down in front of my computer and wrote. So you can do a lot of that as well. So take that time professionally. Maybe you're getting, like Jim said, your CE credits. Maybe you're going to get a designation, but spending that time to work on that. And again, take a break between your business project and your home project. Your home project could be, I just want to curl up in the corner with a blanket and a good book. I want to spend some time just checking in with old friends that are, don't live anywhere near where I live, that aren't really part of my professional sphere, but they're, cousins that live in Illinois, whatever. And spend that time to help better yourself. What kind of person do you want to be at the end of this? What are those skills, those things that you want to work towards that are helping you? I know one of the first thing I did was I cleaned out a bookshelf, because I kept staring at the bookshelf and how much it bothered me. And it just had created an additional, I was a little bit more edgy because that bookshelf just was super disorganized. So I tore everything down and cleaned it back up. And I'm so happy now every time I walk by the bookshelf. It was a personal thing for me. I don't know what works best for you, but it's just an opportunity for you to take that time. Now, for those of you that are homeschooling kids, redo this any way you want. Look, I know people that say, look, I'm going to sit down and have a daily plan for what I want my day to be like today. And last night I was up late working on projects. So a goal for me today is to take a nap. So be it, right? So if that's, put it on your checklist, man. I'm taking a nap, and I'm going to have the kids, watch a little movie. I'm going to rest and take a little nap. Perfect. So if whatever that needs to be for you, take care of it. But the idea is that at least every day in the morning, to start your morning, have a plan, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody here is expecting anyone to be perfect. We're expecting you to do your best every day. And sometimes that best might be getting out of bed and making your bed. And that's the best you can do today because of other things going on in your world. And the next day, you're going to just kill working on your database, and you're going to be just efficient and effective. And all of those things are perfectly okay. And that we need to support each other. But I know for me, the reason I wrote this is I felt like I needed to have some sort of a schedule to help me stay on track with what I wanted to accomplish. I didn't want this time to just happen to me. And just look back 2-3 months from now and realize all I did was, watch way too much Netflix and not help take this time to better myself and to work towards some projects. So that is the perfect day, as it were.
Thank you, Katey. That's awesome. The other element I'd like to bring up too is just your book. Like you said, the longest chapter is 2.5 pages, you said?
Mm-hmm. It
Okay.
is.
This book is fantastic because it's 52,
one for each week.
Okay, 52, sorry. Different little segments. And, whatever you do in your day, find something that you can take bite sizes of, like Katey said, take bite sizes of things and implement them. And like she wrote a book by taking an hour of her day, not spending 6 days, as a hermit writing a book with a, feather and ink pen. But she took the right approach to build something that she wanted to finish into her day. So I challenge you guys all, and myself included, to build something in your day starting this weekend that you can have be a consistent thing going forward, no matter what the market conditions bring to us, right? Whatever those things are of value to you, those core values or those things that you're passionate about, find those ways to implement them now so that when life gets busier and things get a little bit more back to normalization, you have those foundation things in there are important. For me, it's my family, right? I'm going to go after this call and spend lunch with my wife and 2 kids and take an hour off and leave my phone in my little man cave thing. But we all have those little things that we should do today, and just keep those things in mind again. What are things you can build off of and take bite sizes? That's all we really have. Anybody have any questions about this stuff? Obviously, there's so much more we can dive into, but we want to respect everyone's time, obviously. Cool. Awesome. I'm getting a lot of good stuff. Thanks to you both. Awesome. Well, awesome stuff. Are they willing to do WCR?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll do another one with WCR. Yes. So we will do another meeting like this. Again, mortgage market updates. I'll give you guys a 1-minute update on mortgage updates and SBA. SBA lending is starting to come through now. I'm hearing clients get the approvals finally. They submitted their applications about a week and a half ago. So there's about a 10-day delay on when you hear back on SBA financing. So if you've applied for an SBA loan, we know that there's a call later today with CAR to go over those things. Morgan's probably already sent this out to you guys, but there's a call at 1:30 to explain the different options available. Morgan, do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sorry, my 2-year-old is in here and he's crying, so I'm going to say no. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Okay. So 1:30, there's a call for that CAR call, a Zoom call, and also just updates on the rates. Right now, stay in the really conforming box. Don't take any risks on lot loans or $5 million spec homes. Just know all the activity that I foresee, having been through this with Katey from 2008 and 2001, where the action is going to happen is where the loan amounts are available. Okay. So where the loan amounts are available are up to $765,000. So what I would do as a realtor, I would take $765,000, divide that by 0.8, and know that purchase prices of about $950 or lower are probably still going to be fluid in the marketplace because those loans are available. If I have a client that was approved 3 months ago using RSU income or stock options or bonuses, and they were putting down 20% on a $2 million purchase, I don't know if that current loan exists or if the rates are worth doing the loan with. It might be available, but there might be a higher risk premium associated. So stay in the fray of opportunity. Stay in that bell curve of activity and action. If you do that, you'll find a lot more results and a lot more synergies being created. Again, if you're going to go on the outliers, just know that that's going to be a different market going forward. And this is exactly what happened to me in Danville in 2009 and 2010. There were properties that moved. Everything at that time, the loan limits I think were 625. Everything that moved was less than $810,000. Everything that didn't move was like 850 and above. And people and realtors didn't think about that. And I challenge you to think about how the lending component will play a bigger vital role and how you can get transactions closed or your buyers into escrows. So that's all we got today. Thank you guys again. I'll put Katey and Andrew, if you could put your information, please, in the link below, that'd be fantastic on the chat room.
Yeah,
and if you guys have any questions, we're here for you. Thank you guys again for your time. Time is so precious right now. And we appreciate you being here, and have a wonderful Good Friday and a good Easter.
All right.
Thank you,
guys.
everybody.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Happy
Okay.
Easter.
You too.
And
Hey,
Katey,
Jim.
Katey, you want to put yours in there and we'll be good? Oh, I got Katey.
Hey, Jim.
Yes, 1 second.
Just, yeah, sure.
All right, guys. Thanks again.